Hey witches, welcome back to the channel. This is Hectorios, and I want to share some of my astral travels that I had this morning. And some information that I got during them. But first, I want to show y'all a new doll that I'm working on, and also let y'all know some other videos that I'm going to be doing today. So this is my most recent doll I'm working on, and seems like the lighting contrast is kind of messed up. But she's going to be a spirit vessel doll. She's not possessed yet, but this is her so far. I'll tell y'all about the spirit that I am working with her, probably in some update videos when I complete working on her. I'm going to try to get her finished by the dark moon on the 27th. But yeah, this is her. Isn't she like adorable and pretty? And I might, because if y'all don't know already, I sold Fanny to another witch. And she was like the main spirit doll that I worked with. As far as like as a familiar. So I kind of started making this doll with the intention of, for myself, for my own works. But I'm not sure yet exactly whether or not if I will sell her in the future, but to begin with, I will be just utilizing her in my work because it is a spirit that I'm already kind of working with, and I'm constructing this doll for her. I will keep y'all updated on all of that. Some people noticed her standing in the recent tarot reading video that I did, and they asked about her, so I decided I was going to go ahead and share a little bit about her with y'all in this video. Now, also today, I'm going to be recording my video on how to make astral projection, astral travel, lucid dreaming, oil, tea potion, and a herbal sachet dream pillow, which is pretty much the same ingredients for all of them, but I will be doing that video a little bit later today and just break it down and make things for y'all on the video, okay? How I make it. So I just wanted to come on here really quick this morning and basically share some of my astral travels that I had this morning. First of all, I woke up at like 3 a.m. It was like 2:50 something, but I woke up from just like a dream, a very vivid dream of like, I don't know, it was like I was being tested. In that dream, it was like I was in this facility, and they were testing me, how I respond to these different kind of zombie beings, or and there was different kinds. Like some of them were like just undead creatures that were just like unconscious. Some of them were like living people that just had some kind of a virus or something, mental disorder or something, where they were just deranged and rabid. Some of them were like mummies, but they had consciousness and awareness and stuff like that. It was really weird. But it's like I was being tested on how I would react to the different types of these beings, and trying to like outwit them or survive in these different scenarios. It was really weird. But there was also another group of people with me that were also being put through the test, and some of them were like dying or failing in the different tests or whatever. But if you died, it was just like a test, like it wasn't real, and they would be back again in the next test. So I don't know, it was very bizarre. But I woke up from that dream, and that was just a vivid dream. I wasn't really too lucid or able to control things other than just myself and my reactions. And I was not aware I was dreaming in that. So I would just consider that a vivid dream. But anyway, I woke up from that, and here's the part where the actual astral travels come in. When I started to fall back asleep, I was like, okay, this is the perfect, because if you don't know, that's the ideal time to astral travel and astral project. When you wake up in the morning in a situation like that, but you're not really ready to wake up for the day, you're still like very groggy and in this hypnagogic state, you can go into an astral travel very easily from that state of being. So, upon waking up like that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and astral travel. So I was laying there and letting my body fall back to sleep or whatever, and I started to become aware of my third eye, of my pineal gland, in a different way than I ever have before. It felt like I could control it very easily. Like, basically, the only way I can describe it is like when you close and open your physical eyes, okay? And that's just perfectly under your control. Now you unconsciously blink 1,000 million times a day, and you're not even aware that you're doing it. It just does it by itself. But you can also consciously control whether you open or close your eyes. Well, with the pineal gland and the third eye, it's similar, because a lot of times it just does things on its own. And that has a lot to do with your psychic perceptions. They're just kind of natural and intuitive. But, this morning when I was getting ready to astral project, I literally could feel as though I was controlling my third eye to become very active and to induce the astral travel. And it was just weird, because usually whenever I'm astral projecting or astral traveling, I don't necessarily feel that process of the pineal gland itself activating. It's like I'll just fall asleep, and then like I'm instantly wherever I'm supposed to be in the travel. And that's because a lot of times Hecate guides my travels and takes me places. or at least that's what I think. Um, so it was very peculiar because as I was falling asleep, I could just feel my pineal gland, and I could feel it opening, and it just felt like literally like your eye opening, uh, but in your pineal gland, in your third eye. And when it was opening, it was like I could feel its presence, like as though it was becoming the center of my consciousness, uh, and expanding out through my brain and my mind and my head. And it was like there was two consciousnesses, my normal one falling asleep, and then the pineal gland third eye consciousness was blossoming within that. And the stronger that it got, the more that my other consciousness faded. It was very interesting because I've never really experienced that, the process of that. Like I said, it's usually where I just go from one state to the other, and I don't necessarily feel all of the gray area in between. But this time I did. I just thought that was very interesting, and I took a note of that experience and how it felt, because I feel like now I can induce it by experiencing it consciously. I feel like I can induce it more easily now in that way. So I went back into the dream of the zombie things. But this time I went back there consciously. And that is what I had chose to go back into. I was like, I want to go back into that dream. And because in that dream, the way it had ended was like unfinished, because there was this girl in the dream named, was it Claire? Or Eric? There was this girl named Erica in the dream, and she had been trapped in this room, alone, like separated from the rest of the group. When I woke up, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go back in that dream and go back and help her, even though I knew it was a dream. It was just me experimenting with the astral traveling, because I have not really done it too often recently. So I went back into that dream, but this time as a travel, and things were different from how they were before. There was no other people there this time. I just went back to that facility, and it was like an empty dimension. Like there was nothing there. There was no zombies. There was no humans. There was no... before there had been like this, like a person speaking over an intercom telling us like, okay, this test is over, you're going to the next one, or whatever, like that. That voice was no longer there. Like it was just like an empty dimension, but it was still the same facility. It was very weird. And I was like looking around at everything, and I just had this very uneasy feeling of like, what the fuck is this? So I just woke myself back up out of that travel, because I was like, well, there's nothing here, so what's the point of this? So I just came back to my regular waking consciousness again, and I was just laying there in the bed, once again in that same groggy state, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to travel somewhere else now. So this time I started just opening my third eye again, how I did the first time, because like I told you, once I experienced it, the process of how it works in full detail this morning, it made it to where now I can induce it more easy like that in exact detail. So what I did was I just started opening the third eye to get ready to go to a travel, but I didn't set an intention of where to go. Before I started, I just started opening it, and this very bizarre experience happened. Basically, I didn't go anywhere. I went to this bizarre place of like, I'm just gonna try to explain this the best that I can. It was so weird, y'all. It wasn't like just traveling to another realm. It was like I was in this in-between area of it was just blackness. I'm just gonna explain it in the most detail that I can. It was in a background of blackness, like of outer space or something, but there was not stars. It was just black, and there was these lines of electricity going across like this, just in the center of my area of view, like 5 tendrils of electricity going across. And inside that stream of that electrical current, there was these little orbs, like silver orbs of light, and they were just going across that stream or whatever. And it was like if I tried to focus on one of those silver orbs, or intended to focus on one, it would come closer to me. Like that entire stream of electricity would arc closer to me with the silver orb in it, and it would get bigger as it got closer to me. And then inside of that orb, it would be some realm or a different scene or a different place that I could travel to. It was very weird. And like I was looking at the different ones, and I was like, no, I don't want to go there. And then it showed me another one, and I was like, well, I don't want to go there. And then in the process of that, I was like, well, where do I actually want to travel to? Let me make a conscious choice now. And immediately, as I was thinking that, I suddenly heard this demonic voice. I really honestly cannot remember exactly what it said because I was ignoring it. At the same time, I was more focused on where I was going to go, and I wasn't going to let anything distract me or turn the travel or direct the travel other than myself. So even though I heard this very strange and creepy sounding demonic voice talking to me, I ignored it for the most part, but I do remember some of the things it was saying. And it's like it was trying to dissuade me from traveling or from looking at those different orbs in different realms and choosing one to go to. It was like it was trying to dissuade me from going, and or from even being in the realm that I was in that in-between place, looking at the different realms. It was like it said something about like, don't open those doors or don't go in those doors. That's really all I can remember as far as the actual words it said. It did say much more than that, but I don't remember what those other words were. But the overall feeling that I got from this voice was like it was telling me, or it was just trying to dissuade me from even being there or going through the doors. Well, like I said, I was ignoring it, and I was deciding where I was going to go, and as it was talking. So, meanwhile, while it was talking and trying to convince me or whatever, I was in my mind thinking, where am I going to go to? And then I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to astral project. into my bedroom, into my own area, because I have not been able to do that in a very long time. Or I just haven't in a long time. So what I went ahead and did was I set that intention. Okay, I'm gonna astral project into my own room, into my own home. And right when I thought that, one of those orbs came along and it was showing me my bedroom. So it's like that just got bigger and bigger, the orb, and bigger and bigger and bigger, until it was just taking up my whole field of vision. And once it achieved taking up my whole field of vision, then I was there in my bedroom. It was very weird, but that's how it worked. And then when I got into my room astral projecting, I did not see myself sleeping on the bed. And my room was different, like arranged differently from how it looks in real life or in this physical reality. And these demons appeared. Like if you have seen the movie Silent Hill, with those demons that they're like nurses with like blades and shit. There was the demons like that in my bedroom. And I was like, what the fuck? And I guess they attacked me, or they were trying to, or something, but something happened and they just all dropped down like dead or something on the ground or on the floor. And I was just like, this is very weird. And I was like, well, I'm still going to continue with this travel anyways. So I went out of my bedroom and I was like, I'm going to go outside and just, walk around and experience this travel. And I made it to my front door of my house, and something like pulled me out of the travel. It felt different from waking up. Like it was like something literally pulled me out of the travel, and I was like, what the fuck? But I was woken up in my bed again. And I was like, okay, what is going on with this? Because that was just all so strange to me. So well, at that point, I actually did get up physically, and I went to the restroom. Then I came back to my bed, and I was like, well, I'm going to try one more time to travel somewhere just to get the practice in. Because I know that the more that you do it, the more easier it becomes to do, because you just get in this habit of doing it. So it's like, I'm going to try one more time. So I laid back down, and this time, once again, I was focusing on my pineal gland opening and the whole process and the way that that all felt. And this time I didn't go to that in-between realm. I went directly into a travel. And in that one, I was living back at my other house that I recently moved out from. And my sister, my sister came over and brought my nephew, and for me to like babysit him or something, and then she left, and I was just there with my nephew, and it became nightfall, so I guess he was staying over the night, and my older brother was also there, and he left, and then there was like I don't know, there was like something outside, and I was like, what was it? It was like there was some kind of a wolf creature outside, and like it wasn't trying to get in the house or anything like that, but I was in that travel, I was just aware that there was some kind of wolf creature outside, and my nephew wanted to go outside for some reason, and I was just telling him no, he couldn't go out there because I knew that there was this wolf creature out there, but I didn't tell him that because I wasn't trying to scare him, but I was just telling him like, no, you cannot go out there. And then once again, I just was like pulled out of that travel, and I was like, what the fuck? Why? What is making me getting pulled out of these travels? And in that moment, I was like, okay, you know what? It's time to talk to Hecate. So I did, and I was like, okay, what's happening with this? And that's when she told me of. Well, not told me, but she basically reminded me what she already told me, which was that during her away time from having a rulership or complete control rulership over the physical realm, that these demonic entities would basically inundate the different realms and just be chaotic and do whatever they want, basically. So she just reminded me that she had already told me that, and then she proceeded to tell me that so she had blocked my ability to astral travel, or limited it in some kind of a way to where I wouldn't be able to just astral travel like I normally do, or like I did in the past, because those realms were all infested with demonic beings that are trying to feed on people's energy. So I told y'all all of my experiences this morning just to get to that point. If you have been experiencing a lack of your regular dreaming life or astral traveling and stuff like that, just to know that it's because Goddess Hecate has limited us from being able to, or most people. And if you do somehow have been continuing to astral travel and astral project during this time, you have probably been experiencing some kind of bizarre situations and beings that you wouldn't normally see. And stuff like that. Well, it's these demonic beings that basically they just want to use your energy. So usually, they try to scare people in the dream state because they can feed on that energy. I was not scared at any of my travels that I did experience, even though there was like demonic beings and zombies or a wolf creature or whatever, demonic voice, all of those different things did not actually scare me. But they were infested in all of the different travels that I did do. You know, as far as on my own, because throughout this time when Hecate's been descended, there has been times when she takes me places and there's nothing there. There's no demons or fucked up beings or anything like that. It's just like a regular travel that I'm not fully controlling. But this was the first time in quite a while that I've actually been able to travel on my own without her taking me somewhere. So I don't know why that is. But now that I think about it, it may be because she's in the process of returning now. So maybe she's starting to lift those limitations to a degree. But I just wanted to share that, and just for the sake of that information of, you know, the astral realm is basically infested right now with demonic entities and beings kind of running rampant. But I'm sure that will all be cleared up as well as Hecate is rising into her full power again, and thus controlling all of the realms again. So I just wanted to share that. And once again, I will be doing the videos today on the astral travel, astral projection oil that I make, as well as the tea potion and the herbal charm bag dream pillow, so that you all can just know my recipe for that. Okay. Well, that sums it up for this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you experience anything similar, or yeah. I'll see y'all guys in the next video. Blessed be.